Hello, my name is Latasha Bennett, founder of the Reed Bennett Institute of Alternative Learning. And what I want to talk about today is homeschooling. I know. Some people ask why homeschool. Parents are making a bad decision when they choose to homeschool their children. There's a lack of social skills and so many other things that can go wrong. It's kind of like Murphy's Law. They say what can and will go wrong. So, um, I am a homeschool parent. Um, I've chose to homeschool for several different reasons. One is for medical reasons for my kids, upper respiratory complications type of thing, and the other one is even though they have these medical complications, they are very proficient for advanced students. They're beyond their grade levels. Well, two of mine are beyond their grade level, and one he's going to the sixth grade, but I gave him a test that tested him at a 6.9, which is still awesome. So I would like to touch on the basis of homeschooling for those parents who may want to homeschool. I would simply say ask yourself if you have enough time to dedicate to choosing a curriculum, or if you don't want to choose a set curriculum and you want to design your own curriculum, which I am doing. That takes a lot of time because you have to go through a lot of materials and see what's out there that can be offered. Now, some parents do unschooling, where there's no particular curriculum set, that the child relies mostly on skill, but I'm not that familiar with unschooling. I'm quite sure there's probably a lot underlining unschooling, especially if your child has this awesome or amazing ability or gift or talent or skill, such as some artists that we see on TV. A lot of those students, their parents have to hire a tutor or a teacher to go along with their young learner because they're on the road all the time, which since is homeschooling, but they're not at home. So, but just take the information and think about it. Do you have enough time? Just like you would be running your own business, or if you worked for a company or some other business where you, say if you were a secretary, you're responsible for, information, keep up with information. Being a homeschooling parent, you're not only just that child's tutor or teacher, you're the administrator, you're the staff member, you're the custodial worker, you're the food and nutrition director, and the cook, and the chauffeur, bus driver. You're all of these things into one. Now, in my particular case, I am the founder of RELS, the Institute of Alternative Learning, but my husband, he is the owner of the business. He acts as, the administrator. I serve in the capacity, I guess you say administrator as well, because I serve in the capacity as the curriculum specialist, because like I said, I'm building a different curriculum for each one of my children, because they do have different skills that we want to focus on and throw up in there. So just like the core subjects, they're going to have time spent on their skills. That's one good thing as a parent. If your child has this amazing skill, you can focus a lot of your time on their skill and add the core subjects around that skill. And another advantage of homeschooling is, I will use my son. I have one of my children. He just simply does not function well in the morning. And, is that going to help him when he go out there in the real world? Some people will say no, because you have to have this 9-to-5 job. No, you do not have to have a 9-to-5 job. There are other schedules that you can follow. He just may be one of those people who have to work the night shift. if military is an option for him, he may be that individual who makes an elite squad or an elite team in the military and go out during, nighttime. You never know. There's so many options, and with my family, we always think outside of the box. Sometimes, it just makes me really, really sad when some parents, just stick within that box. But I'm not going to get all off into that. But, just think about it. If you choose to homeschool, because yes, I went to the school district and, they told me I was making the worst decision in the world. And I'm like, well, do you understand that I am a teacher? If I'm good enough to teach other people's kids, I'm good enough to, teach my own. So, but, that's just a sacrifice that me and my family we're making. I'm not out there, at the school teaching, but, I do have the company Arbia, where I teach and tutor and do homework help and all of that. And plus I have my other companies, Read Bennett Productions, where I build websites, which ties in to Read Bennett Institute, because I have a website built, or is still in the making, because I keep changing and updating and trying to figure out exactly what the main or sole purpose of this website is going to be, because initially it was to reach students all around the world, to bring education to every household through my website. But that's a whole other story as well. But I just want you to think about it. Homeschooling is not a bad option. It is if you're a parent who can have dedicated time and making sure that your child is meeting those objectives and, passing those objectives and, getting the right basic skills. And especially if you have a young emergent learner, it's very, very, very important that they get those literacy skills in their point blank. That has to be done, because reading is the foundation of every subject. Within every subject, even music, art, PE, there's some type of reading that you have to do. And the better reader you are, the better you are to function academically. So, I want to touch on another thing, social skills. So where your child or children, they're not going to have any social skills, guess what? My husband and I are the best teachers when it comes to socialization. Which I would like for more parents to do, is to, model for your children. Show them how words are supposed to be pronounced. Teach them correct grammar. Are we going to walk around our households each and every day using correct grammar at every given moment? No, we're not. But we can explain to our, learner, which I like to refer to them as academic professionals in training. We can tell them, let them know, well, hey, when we're out socializing with friends at this function, we tend to talk this way sometimes. But when we're in a professional setting, or, some other setting where we must, display good grammar, we do that here. And that's one thing I used to do inside my classroom. We would role play. We would turn into a game, or, sort of like acting, where you could, in one scenario, you would just be yourself. And in another scenario, you would be, your role model, or just some person that you look up to. And we would turn ourselves into these, people who spoke with just correct grammar all the time. And, kids loved it, because it took some of the pressure off some of the time. Say if there was a child who came from, a background where it's frowned upon to just, speak grammatically correct and, do all of these things academically. And, that child was allowed to come in there, just act this other part. That takes off some of the pressure, from the other students who know, well, this child acts this way. Children know children, children know families, families know families. We all know that. But like I said, to just think about it and, contact me. My website is www.reed-bennett-institute@gmail.com. So www.reed-bennett-institute@gmail.com. There's a page on there where you can email me. reedbennettinstitute@gmail.com or learning.reedbennettinstitute@gmail.com. And I hope this helps a parent who's thinking about homeschooling. It's totally not a bad option at all. It just depends on you. Like I said, you're the administrator, you're the teacher, you're everything. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you can have an awesome homeschool. But if you're the parent that's not going to do anything, not keep your files together, then that may not be the best thing for you. But like I said, I hope this helps, and great learning to everyone. Bye.